Okay guys, welcome to episode 4 of the Menace Family Podcast. We're still working on, I don't know if I like the name 100%, but I kind of want to keep it because it's, you know, we're Jimenez Menace Family Podcast. But anyways, today we are going to be discussing the topic of miscarriage. So if you want to see what we're going to talk about, then just keep on watching.
Así es. Keep on watching.
Okay, I do need to say this is take 2 of this because right now for some reason the memory card we were using completely like halfway that I was talking and we were like 15 minutes in already, just stopped. So this is us re-recording and I did cry, so maybe this time I won't cry. But just really quickly, I feel like the topic of miscarriage is something that is not talked about a lot just because it's kind of like a, I guess, I literally said this a while ago, I can't remember, like it's like just one of those topics that it's very hush hush, people don't really like to talk about it, or women don't talk about it a lot. I personally don't see a lot of women talk about it, but if you follow Kendall Ray on YouTube, which she is a very, very huge YouTuber, she's been around for a long time. She also has a podcast with her husband that I listen to all the time, and she recently discussed on her other podcast her personal experience with the miscarriage. And when I saw the video, you guys, I like was bawling the whole time like watching it just because it resonated so much with me. And I'm a very, very open person on my Instagram. You know, I tell you guys everything. And I have gotten like questions about my experience just because a lot of followers that I have recently had miscarriages. So I just wanted to talk about it here to kind of give my personal experience, the way that we experienced it. And of course, you know, just so that you guys know a little bit of the struggle that we went through the past year. But one thing that I do want to say very quickly, because I was looking up statistics and I knew this like prior to this, but I wanted to make sure that I had it right, is that 1 in 4 women have a miscarriage. So basically 25% of the women have a miscarriage, and a lot of the times they don't even know that they're going through one. Like they don't know that they're pregnant until the miscarriage happens. So it's a lot more common than you think. It's just not as talked about, pretty much. And I know Jay said a little while ago, which deleted, but I'll probably be the one that's like talking a little bit more during this episode, just because of the fact that of course like I went through it, and he will definitely jump in. I already told him to jump in when he sees that I'm gonna cry or something. But so just kind of like starting very quickly, like the process. You know, Jay and I have been together now for 10 years. In 2022 will be 10 years. But we got married last year, February 2021, right around like before COVID started. So this year, no, sorry, 2020 when we got married.
No, what?
We got married 2020. And then, so our anniversary was February of 2021, like this year was our first year. And then our wedding is supposed to be March 5th. So we had a lot of time, you know, for me to get pregnant, which is what I told you. I was like, hey, like we have literally like a 3 to 4 month period where we can try to get pregnant, and then if I get pregnant, great, because then at least I'll have like 5-6 months before the wedding so that we like I have time to like, you know, try to lose the weight or whatever and get married at the thing. So basically we found out, well, I wanted to tell him on our 1-year anniversary that I was pregnant, but I took a test and it was negative. And then like throughout the trip I kind of felt really like nauseous and just like ugh, you know. So when we came back from the trip a couple of days later, I ended up taking a pregnancy test again, and I just think it was way too early when I tested because it ended up coming positive. So I was really excited to tell Jay because like if you guys know Jay, like he loves kids, like he's wanted kids forever. So I was just excited to surprise him with it. And it didn't go as planned 100%, but basically what I did is I bought like a big box. I put a baby blanket, baby shoes, and then a onesie that said, "Hi Daddy," I think, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what it said. Yeah, I think it said, "Hi Daddy," or "Hola oh, hola Papa." It was in Spanish, remember?
No,
I don't remember.
Pero decía, sí, decía
It said like,
Daddy,
I think it said "Hola Papi." Honestly, you guys, I don't remember. I still have it, but anyways, at the time we had a roommate, so my roommate helped me kind of like surprise him with the box. The reason why I didn't like it is because we ended up like surprising at night. It was outside, and the quality just, I didn't really like it. But regardless, like I was happy because I finally got to tell Jay, right? Like that's what he's always wanted forever. We had a trip coming up to, well, I had a trip to Texas, back home, to visit my mom, my dad, and we were actually gonna go on a vacation. And my plan was like, oh, like when we go, I'll have onesies for our parents, like my mom, my dad, his dad's mom, all that, to surprise them also, right? Like, hey, we're pregnant. And unfortunately, Jay just couldn't get the time off, so I was kind of like bummed about that. But I was like, whatever, I'll tell them by myself, you know, because he couldn't get the time off. So anyways, then you know, you have to regularly go through checkups, especially like during the first trimester, just because everything is very like touch and go. So I went in for an ultrasound, and you know, when you're very, very early, it's always like the vaginal ultrasound, like that's pretty much the best one. So when I did that one, she told me like, hey, you know what, like I just think we're too early because it looks very small, like the sac was there. So she basically told me to come back like 2 or 3 days later, which I did. And then they did another vaginal ultrasound, like no difference. And then they basically had me go in for like 3 to 4 days in a row so that I could get blood work, which I did. And like, I remember I had like huge bruises, remember? Yeah. Like I, just from constant blood taking out every single day. So basically I feel like she just didn't want to scare me because she was just kind of like, oh, I'm taking out blood, blah, 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 whatever. So then she had me go in for another ultrasound like a week later. And when the lady was doing the ultrasound, like I kind of instantly knew something was wrong, just because one, like I had been getting my blood taken out every day. And then of course it's during COVID, so like she had the mask on, but like just me looking at her, like I could see her like this, you know, like on the computer, and she kind of was just like real like confused looking. So I kind of told her like, hey, is there something wrong? And she was like, oh, like I don't know, I just think I'm not seeing it. I feel like it's a little too early. Like I knew she was trying to play it off so that I wouldn't get scared. And I was just like, when she said that, I was like, oh my God, right? So same thing, they did blood work again that day, the day after, and then like 2 days after that, and they scheduled me for a week later for like the last ultrasound. And then when they scheduled me for that one, it was another lady, but she did the ultrasound, and she was like, you know, like obviously they have all the records, like what I've gone through before. So she kind of was just like, she didn't, you know, she didn't really want to tell me anything either, but she was like, yeah, like you would already be at 8 weeks. And basically what happened is it just didn't grow after a certain week. At 8 weeks, like they were already expecting to have like a heartbeat and like obviously like a visual or whatever, which I didn't have. So after that, like they took me to the room, and like at this point, like, you know, you already know they're gonna tell you like, oh, you had a miscarriage. When I went to the, okay, don't cry. Oh, I don't know why this part makes me cry. I already cried in the previous version. Okay, hold on.
When you entered the room.
Okay, so I think like this is the only sad thing for me.
It's okay. Just cry.
I don't want to cry.
Why not?
I just need to not cry. Okay, so the hardest thing I think is, again, like it's COVID time. So the restrictions are so like excessive. You have to go in alone, you know, you cannot go in with your partner. And like obviously Jay was at work, but either way he couldn't go. they won't let him in.
I went a couple of times with you, but I was outside.
Well, yeah, he would go to the appointments, but he couldn't go in, you know. But unfortunately, the last appointment, when, you know, the doctor comes in, honestly, my doctor she's a woman. She was very, like, attentive, and she made me feel better. But she basically told me, like, hey, you know what, like, yeah, you're miscarrying, your numbers are low. For the HCG, you're supposed to go higher, like, every day that you're pregnant, because your hormones are rising. But in my case, when they were taking the blood levels every day, I was just getting lower and lower and lower. And, like, the fact that the baby wasn't growing is, like, how they know that you're having a miscarriage. So, like, what I was telling Jay earlier is just, like, the hardest thing for me is, like, for them to tell you you're going through a miscarriage and, like, you're alone. You know, of course you have the doctor, but because of COVID, like, I couldn't have Jay inside with me. So I just feel like that would have helped me a lot. But so she basically told me you have two options. Like, one, you can either take the medication I can give you to help you, like, you know, get everything out successfully, whatever. Or two, you can wait for it to happen naturally. But she told me that if I do that, that it could take, like, days, or it could take weeks, because it basically would just be whenever your body, like, realizes it. Because she was saying, like, your body doesn't know that you were miscarrying. Like, it takes a while to catch up. So again, since I was gonna have the trip, I was like, I don't want to have, like, unexpected, just random one day. So I chose to have the medication provided to me, and it was quick. I got the medication. She told me, hey, for a day or two, you're gonna feel, you know, whatever, you're gonna feel like you're constipated. It was, like, a really weird feeling. I don't know, I just, like, it's kind of like if you're on your period, but, like, a lot more, because it was just, like, heavy cramps kind of thing. But I just think, like, what's so weird is you spend so much time, well, for me, us, like, I've never been the kind of person that, like, says, like, oh yeah, like, let's just have a kid, you know. Like, I knew that I didn't want to have a kid until I was ready for it. And then so you spend so many years, like 10 years, 9 years, you know, trying to not get pregnant. And then when you try to get pregnant, like, and it happens quickly, like, that's good, right? Like, people like that. Or so I was just, like, annoyed, because, like, I felt like, I don't know how to describe it. Well, at first I feel like, I don't know if I've said it on here. If I haven't said it on here, I am diabetic. It runs in my family. So, like, that's the reason why last year I completely changed my whole lifestyle, all that, like, how I eat and everything, like, my diet. So when I had the miscarriage, like, I was, like, thinking everything over, you know, like, oh, like, did I not eat enough carbs? Did I not, like, I don't know, do exactly what I was supposed to do? And I was taking, like, medicine and, like, the prenatals, and then, like, at the time I no longer, like, I'm not on any kind of medication for my diabetes. I'm, like, a healthy diabetic, you know, like, my levels are good. So it's just, like, weird, because I didn't know what I did wrong, like, for it to happen.
You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, like,
you're trying to look for an excuse, like, and it's not, like, just normal.
Yeah, I know, but, like, it's different because I was working out a lot. I was walking a lot. And, like, at the time, I was still, like, doing my diet, like, so religiously, like, sticking to the carbs. So, like, even if I was hungry, I wouldn't eat as much. Like, I mean, of course I was eating, but I was eating to my specific diet, like, my low carbs. So, like, afterwards, I just couldn't get it out of my head. Like, I was like, does it have to do with the fact that, like, I wasn't eating enough carbs? Like, I wasn't eating. And, like, it was the same, you know, like, because I had to go for follow-ups with the doctor. And she would tell me, like, no, like, that, like, don't worry about that. Like, it's not that. Like, it's not anything that you did. Like, it just happens. And I know, like, when I was watching Kendall talk about it, she said the same thing, that, like, they told her, like, you know, there's nothing that you did. Like, it's just so early on. So since it's early, like, sometimes it really could just be like your body getting rid of something, knowing that it's not going to be viable later.
Yeah.
But like, I was telling Jay that, like, the hardest part is I only was pregnant for like the 7 weeks, 8 weeks, and like the whole time, like, you know, I wished I could tell somebody. Like, my mom, my best friends knew, but you know, it's not like I was telling my mom. Jay, like, I wanted to tell Jay's mom, I wanted to tell my mom, but I didn't want to tell them because of the same thing, you know, like, you never know if it could not be viable. So I feel like afterwards, like after it happened, like, you just feel so sad because it's like, it's hard for you to grieve something that you didn't have. Your eyebrow was bothering me so much.
My eyebrows?
Yeah. His
Okay,
eyebrows have been bothering me so
Look
much.
at them so that way you can stop crying.
Okay, crap, I was gonna say something else. What was I gonna say?
That you couldn't say anything.
Yeah, like it was really hard for me because during that time that I was pregnant, like, I just felt so horrible. Like, I remember telling my best friends, like, my head hurts, like, I'm nauseous, like, I remember feeling like I felt horrible. I really did. And then, like, the worst thing is, like, after the miscarriage, like, your body still kind of thinks that it's pregnant for like a little while after. So even after I had the miscarriage, like, I still felt like nauseous, and I still felt like my boobs were sore, and I don't know, like, you still feel the pregnancy symptoms even when it's not, like, when you're not anymore. How much does it say that we have? 17 minutes? 16?
Yeah, 17.
17 minutes. Okay. I guess, well, I feel like a lot of people don't want to talk about it again because it's like, for me, I mean, I wouldn't say I felt ashamed. I just felt like why didn't it work for me? And then recently, my due date was supposed to be November 5th of this year. So like a couple of months ago, or a couple of weeks ago. And like, I think it hit me more. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it now is because, like, right now, all of the girls that I saw that were pregnant when I was pregnant, like, they had their kid, you know, like, they already had the baby. So I feel like watching them post about, like, oh, like, my newborn baby, like, I think it hit me harder because I was like, you know, that I was supposed to have my baby by this time. And I feel bad also because it's like, again, I know Jay has always wanted a kid, and then, like, I couldn't give it to him, you know?
But I'm not telling you anything.
I know, but
Something that way. Bueno, chicos, esto es todo por el día de hoy.
You're so annoying. This is what I'm telling you, like, you know, it's also hard because you have so many feelings and you want to, like, talk about them, and, like, men are just like, yeah, I'm sad.
Es que este no es un...
And I'm like, hello, why aren't you crying like me?
Like it. I wanna cry, pero como lloro, me aguanto. Pero esto no es yo creo que no es un tema como para nosotros porque no, like, no tuvimos esa experiencia, like, no.
What do you mean?
No lo sentimos, es lo que me explico.
What do you mean,
es
no
esa-
lo sentimos?
Y como ustedes, que ustedes tienen.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I was like, what do you
No,
mean?
dije yo.
Oh,
Dije no.
you said no para nosotros. But
O sea,
I get
me
it
refiero
now.
a nosotros los hombres,
Yeah, I get what you're saying now, like, you as a man.
por eso.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because you didn't feel And I mean, obviously I was so early, you know, so it's not like, oh, I could feel it moving. Obviously not, but like...
Ahí sí hubiera sido ya un poco más diferente, like.
Yeah.
Ya si fuera...
If it was like
yo
really,
hubiera
really...
sentido los movimientos o algo así, las patas.
Then it would have been different.
Ya, entonces sí, pero...
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's just not as hard for them because they don't feel it. I guess, right? But like, I think like after, I think the only thing that like really helped out a lot is, obviously I didn't post it when I was pregnant because again, I was waiting to make sure that we were past the first trimester. But I think afterwards, like Jay is very different than I am. Like, again, I've told you guys, I say a lot of the stuff that goes on in our lives. And Jay is a lot more reserved than I am. He doesn't like to talk about a lot of things because he thinks it's our business, right? But like I had told him when it happened, I was like, hey, like, is it okay if I post this on my Instagram, like about the loss? Because obviously I wanted to ask him because knowing him, I know how like reserved he is. So I didn't want to like talk about it if he wasn't okay with it. Because obviously apart from me posting it, like his family follows me, like my family follows me. So obviously I feel like some people, even, you know, his friends, some of his friends follow me. So I knew obviously if I posted it, our personal family's gonna know. And a lot of the times I feel like I forget that like my personal family follows me just because I feel like my Instagram, a lot of the followers are from people from, you know, other states. So I tend to forget that like people that know us in real life will see it. So anyways, I had posted about it and like I got a lot of other like women like replying to me and telling me like, you know, that they recently went through it or that they've gone through a couple. Like I had this one person tell me, you know, like she literally told me her whole story. Like she told me, hey, like I had 3 miscarriages before I got to have my baby, and like right now my baby is healthy. I think I just turned 1 year old. So like I feel like everybody just kind of sending me in their stories or like not only their condolences, but like I said, like their experiences that they've had and how now they have like a healthy baby. I guess it really helped put me at ease because I was like, okay, I guess it is more common than I thought. And at the time when I was going through it, I didn't know how common it was. Like I wasn't looking up miscarriages. Like I was literally looking up like, you know, all the baby stuff. And like, I'm sure everybody knows there's like a million baby apps. Like when you're pregnant, like there's like a million baby apps, right? Like you put in like your last period and then like it tells you like when you were ovulating, like all that stuff. So it can try to pinpoint like how old your baby is, how far along you are. So I was like worried about that. You know, I wasn't looking into bad stuff. Like I honestly didn't think it would happen, which is really weird. But yeah, like with them just sending me information about it and like I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and a lot of them are like diabetic Facebook groups where people like share recipes, stuff like that. And one of the groups that I'm in is for diabetic pregnancies. So, you know, people on that on that group would put their situations, right? Like, oh, hey, I just found out I'm pregnant, or I just miscarried, or whatever. And like, I guess just a lot of people would comment their stories on there as well. So I'm usually not the kind of person that will go to like Facebook groups and like ask questions. I don't really do that much. But like when that happened, I feel like I needed information from people. So I posted, and I got a lot of people like commenting on it, and not just commenting on it, like just messaging me personally and like, you know, just trying to give their support because they've obviously been through it. Like I said, there's plenty of women who have had a lot of miscarriages and then had a healthy baby. What the hell was that? There was a weird noise. I think it was the the fishies. But yeah, I think like I'm fine now. I mean, I know I say I'm fine and I'm like crying about it, but again, like I'm just a very emotional person. Like that's just who I am. I cry for everything. So yeah.
No, it's afuera.
No, it's the pecera.
No, it's not.
Okay, I'm worried that the pecera is gonna explode or something now. Anyways, just to kind of close everything up on my experience, my doctor did tell me, like, hey, how soon do you want to try again? And I had told her like, hey, I'm gonna go to Texas for a bit, and then I'm gonna come back, and I have like 1 month of a window where I want to try to get pregnant again. And if it didn't happen in that 1 month, we weren't going to be able to try, because of course the wedding, like the actual reception, is going to be this year, like in 2.5 months. So she was very supportive, and she told me like, hey, just so you know, like right after you have a miscarriage, because your levels are also so high with the HCG, again I think it is, you can get pregnant easily. So we tried when we came back and it didn't happen, so we just obviously stopped. So right now, I think we are just waiting probably for after the wedding reception, right? Or you want to wait longer?
Honeymoon?
Where are we going for the honeymoon?
I don't know.
You guys, it's in March. We're like late December already. We don't even have our honeymoon booked. Like it's.
We don't have any.
Oh my gosh. But I would like to say.
That's the thing. Like, supposedly the wedding is like for the bride. They plan everything. They wanna do everything. But in this case, Leslie doesn't wanna do nothing. Nothing.
Okay, let me tell y'all an explanation on that. Okay.
If it was for me, no wedding.
Oh my god, I can't believe you just said that.
I mean,
let me tell you
I'm not
guys
saying,
something.
Like,
let me tell you guys something before you say something. Don't get me wrong, I've always wanted the wedding dress. Like, I want to look like a princess. I've always wanted that.
I'm telling you,
wait,
you need to plan it. But no, you want me to do.
Wait. I wanted a small, intimate wedding.
And that's what we have.
When I say intimate, I mean I wanted to get a damn wedding dress, and it would be me, Jay, my mom, my dad, my brothers. Jay, his mom, his dad, his brother and sister, and that's it. Like, that to me is an intimate wedding. I wanted like small, intimate. No, Mr. Cutie Pie over here wanted to invite the whole world and people that we don't even talk to. So of course we had to agree. He wanted a 300 person wedding. 300, you guys. I don't even know 300 people. But anyways, we compromised. And he says intimate is 100. To me, that's not intimate. But going back to it, the wedding is in Monterrey. It's in Mexico, right? And like the wedding planner lady, the people like for the venue and all that, like, yes, I speak Spanish, but I don't speak proper Spanish. Like, I don't know what the hell they're telling me. Who cares? That's what I'm going towards, because he gets upset because I would literally tell the venue people, I'm like, I don't know, like, don't message me, message Jay, because I'm like, they're confusing me with all these words. Like, I don't understand what they're saying. Like, literally, I just didn't understand.
If somebody wants to help her, please help her, because, like, honestly,
they're gonna charge me an arm and a leg.
I don't know anything of what
you guys doing. Literally everything for the wedding is like done. And I told Jay that I wanted to hire the wedding planner. Remember when we were talking to this lady and you were like, no, we shouldn't get it.
Which one?
When we were talking to, not la que se llamaba Leslie. Remember when we did the video call?
That wasn't a wedding planner. No,
I'm not saying she's a wedding planner. I'm saying she told me, she was like, hey, if you guys need help or whatever on certain things, like, let me know. I know wedding planners that work with our venue. So I told Jay, I was like, okay, yes.
Look for one, so that way you can get everything done. Because for me, it's...
Yeah, so we're gonna do that. Let me just call her and ask for the wedding planner because I don't want to do anything, you guys. I just want to show up.
See? You see?
I mean, I just want to show up, look beautiful in my dress, and have everybody fall in love with me and my dress, and then be like, oh my God, Jay, your wife is so beautiful.
They're gonna tell you in all the idiomas.
They're gonna tell me what?
En todos los idiomas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we got off topic, but yeah, we just wanted to share my personal experience on, you know, how it affected me, how it happened, all of that stuff. You know, it's hard again to talk about because not everybody wants to discuss it. It can be uncomfortable, but since I'm open, I just wanted you guys to kind of hear it from me, how it happened, so that you guys, you know, I don't know, just share the experience is what I mean, and see how it affected us both. But thank you guys for watching today's episode. I apologize for crying, but what are we gonna do next week?
Apologize for crying. You don't have to apologize for crying.
Well, I look crazy when I'm crying. Have you guys seen that Kim meme where she's crying and she's like, that's me. Okay, what are we talking about next week?
Dejen en los comentarios que quieren que... Pero ahora sí yo quiero un debate, o sea que...
Okay, yeah, we need to look for something.
Tú en una cosa y yo en otra cosa y así para poder meterme en el tema y meterle con duro y todo el pedo, porque así esto no.
Okay, so make sure that you guys comment something that we would... But the thing is, we need to see what we're very opposed on. And there's a lot of topics that we're opposed on.
There's a lot of topics, and I can think... I know one already.
What?
Social media, like...
Oh my gosh.
We talked about it, right?
We talked a little bit about it. We didn't talk about it too much. Maybe we should do like a more in-depth one.
Yeah, because for me, social media, I'm not that kind of person.
Okay.
I mean, I am, but I'm not. It's like...
Oh, you just like to go and look at all the girls' pictures.
No es eso.
But you don't like to post, right? You just like to look at all the boards.
Yes. Qué mentirosa. No,
Okay.
just like I don't know. Yo siento que yo no soy ese. No tengo el perfil de.
He's such a liar, because if you guys again follow me on Instagram, you know that he's such a camera whore. Like, he wants to do everything, and he'll be like, "Oh, record me," or "Oh, whatever." So I don't know. You're so annoying.
No, pero sí, chicos, dejen en los comentarios de qué quieren que hablemos, si les gustaría hablar de otra cosa o cualquier
We
otra
need like
cosa.
a good debate topic, something that we can like really fight over.
Acuérdense de que si no se han suscrito, suscríbanse, por favor.
Yes.
Y los que ya están, muchas gracias. Activen la campanita.
Yes. And
Please.
remember, you guys, I know it can be annoying, but we say like and comment because that really helps with the algorithm. If you don't want to comment, share it, you know, send it to yourself or something, so that can help us with the algorithm. That helps us grow a lot on here. So thank you guys for watching today's episode. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.